Thank you, Yvette. Welcome, everyone. Sorry for the few minutes delay, but we're just waiting to see a few minutes to get everyone logged in. So while we're waiting, let me first just introduce myself. My name is Rose Wesson. I am the Associate Provost for Research here at City College. And today's presentation, as most of you know, is going to be on Aya Cook. But before we get started, while we're admitting other people into the Zoom room, let me first say that the presentation will be recorded. It is being recorded right now. And if you or your colleagues are interested in viewing the recording, you'll find it on the Office of Research website. So if you go to ccny.cuny.edu, and if you just search for research, we'll get the Office of Research website. And all of our research seminar series presentations and recordings are listed on the Office of Research website. So if you just look under research seminars, you'll see all of the seminars from previous years, as well as the ones from this academic year, the PowerPoint slides and the recordings. I'll also do a plug for our next series. This is November, so our next, we're taking the month of December off. Happy holidays. And our next series will be on February 8th. So it's on Thursday, February 8th. And Dr. Jackie Weissman, who's our Assistant Director of Proposal Development, will discuss her proposal development services. So if you're in need of any insights into proposal development or assistance in proposal development, Jackie will have a presentation on February 8th. All of our presentations are from 2 to 3 p.m. So we're hoping to see you then, and we'll send out reminders. I think that's the housekeeping issues. If you have questions during Harry's presentation, feel free to put them in the chat. We'll leave time at the end of this hour to take questions, and if you, at that time, we may, depending on the number of questions we have, we may also say just go ahead and unmute yourself, but at the end of the presentation. Let's first get through the presentation first. Okay, I think that's it. So let me introduce Harry Acosta. Harry's the director of the Animal Care Facilities. He's going to be talking about some of our upcoming changes that we're making in Cayuse to include the animal oversight module, what we refer to as the Aya Cook module. So Harry, I'll turn it over to you, and the floor is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Wesson. So I'm going to talk today a little bit about the Cayuse oversight, the animal oversight module. I'm going to talk about the mechanics of it in the first half, and then Tricia will talk about behind the scenes with what happens with the Aya Cook after that. I have quite a bit of material that I want to go over with you, so I'm just going to get started. So Cayuse is a web-based system that we will be introducing so that PIs can electronically submit protocols. It'll make it a lot easier for everybody because everything is easily accessible. It's a secure site. And from submission until approval, everything is done electronically. This should make the whole process of submitting protocols, getting protocols approved, amendments and such, run a lot more smoothly. And it should also help shorten the time it takes for protocols to get approved in the end. With Aya Cook, you can electronically prepare, submit any animal use protocols. As I mentioned before, it's going to shorten the approval time because of the built-in workflow. Additionally, the Aya Cook, as a reviewer, We can easily assess your protocols. We can compare different versions. We can track any changes that were made to the protocols. We can keep better track also of expiration dates and such. You will be receiving emails from the Cayuse system, and it will look like this: no reply at eSeries Cayuse. It's important that you keep an eye out for these emails. You may have to put them on your safe email list, or they'll end up in your spam folders. So if you don't get anything, just look in your spam folders. Now, we plan on going live in January 2024. We're going to start to send out email notifications in December. The email will have a link to the production site, and it's also going to have information on what you need to do to log in. Just to note that all CCNY employees will be using a single sign-on to log into this site. So it's the same as if you were logging into your email. It's going to be the same one. Any students or non-employees will not use the single sign-on. All new users will need to be added through the IACUC. So you'll send IACUC an email. The information that we're going to need is the name, full name, your email. If you are a CCY employee, we'll also need your employee ID. Future updates to this website will hopefully streamline this process a little bit easier, make it a little bit easier in the future. But for now, this is what we need to do. There are some online resources. So if you go to the Office of Research, you will click on Animal Care, then IACUC, and then there's a folder that says Cayuse. On there, you will find training videos. You'll also find a Word document on how to start protocols. And there's also going to be a FAQ, commonly asked questions, on there as well. This is the link to those, but if you just go to the Office of Research site, it's pretty easy to find. We will also be making available one-on-one training if needed. So I will make it available if you're starting a protocol, you're just having some issues, or you just need a little bit of help, just contact the IACUC, me, or Tricia, and we will be able to do some one-on-one with you. Can we stop sharing this site? Am I off?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So once you log on, I'm going to show you, this is your home page, so to speak. On here, we'll have your, I want to make sure that I can see what I'm doing. Okay, can everybody see me? Yes?
We can see
You
you.
share.
Okay, thank you.
You need to share.
We
I'm
can
sorry?
see you, not your screen.
You can't see the screen.
You need to share that screen that you are.
Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry. Share screen. Got it. Got it. Share. Now you can see it, correct? So this is your home base. Up here, you will see your name. Under product, we'll see animal oversight. There's a lot that I'm going to go over with you. I'm not going to go into too much details, but I'm going to try to cover over some of the important things. On your front screen, you're going to have this panel on the left here. It's going to show you any protocols that you have in draft. It's going to show you any protocols that are currently in review. It's going to show you any protocols that are up for annual reviews or progress reports. Any protocols that are up for after your 3 years, your protocol is expired. So these are going to be up there. These are the annual reviews that are in review, and then these are your renewals. You will get emails for annual reviews. You will get an email notification 30 days in advance to remind you that it's up. For renewals, you will get an email 90 days in advance, and then again, you will get an email 30 days in advance, and you'll continue to get emails until you take some action. You can access these by clicking on these buttons, or you can access them by clicking on these buttons here. that'll tell you, it'll give you to the same place as well. This will list protocol. So for example, I have a draft protocol. This is the name of the protocol. This would be the number of your protocol. In the beginning on your protocol, we will try to list your old protocol as well as your new protocol. So that way you can kind of keep track of it. Protocols in review. Okay. So once you're here, this 3 little buttons here will also give you an idea of things that you can do. You can do some protocol reports. You can do any compliance reports, anything else that you need to do here. There's a question mark here that'll also give you some explanation on what you can do with your different protocols. So there's little help buttons here as well. Research staff members, this will list what the role is here. And again, any personnel that needs to be added to your protocol has to go through the IACUC. We need to add that first before you can do that. So I'm going to go in and just start a quick protocol. Once you click on the protocol, this is the first page that you're going to find. The questions that you answer here will determine what questions are going to pop up on this side. So just for demonstrations, I'm just going to put yes on all of them so you can kind of see what we're doing. It's also going to ask for species. So you click on add. And for this one, it's going to be mouse. Here you can check what it is that you're going to do. So for reading procedures, are they going to be euthanized? Are you doing test stages? Then you can do save. Once you do save changes. Okay, then it's going to take you to the next page. Here it's going to list everything that you need to fill out. Now I checked yes to everything, so this is a pretty long list. Not all protocols are going to have everything that's on this list. Any questions that have this little asterisk here means that it's a required question. You need to fill it out in order for you to continue. So for example, this is, I'm just going to put holding for this one. Now you save a change. Some questions will have multiple tabs, and you will need to fill those tabs out before it allows you to continue. If you try to do that, then it'll, which one did I skip? This one. Okay. It'll also not let you submit. The abstract, benefits, experimental, save changes, cancel changes. Let's go to something easier. Federal funding, you can add, so there's 2 ways to add your funding source. First one is initially you can add an initial funding source. We do have some listed here, but if yours is not listed, you're going to hit others, and then you can just go ahead and type in your grant title. A lot of fun. Once the question is completed, you'll see that there's a little question mark right here. This tells you that that question has been completed. You do not have to go in line. You can skip and go to different sections if you want to. You can stop at any time that you want and then go back at a later date. Some questions have drop-down menus, which you can use. So for justification, you could do that. If you select other, then you would write down what you need to, or when you need to put in. And then again, you save changes. Let's do this one. Non-applicable. I'm trying to find it. Some questions have, what is it? Sorry. Okay. This is what you would be doing. It's either going to be research, field studies, housing, holding protocols. This is a holding protocol. We'll say to save. If you're doing a field study, this would you would ask these questions as well. Strain, again, you can add from a list that's already on there. So if I put bulb C, it'll give me a list. Now, some of you guys, if you have your own strain, once you add it onto one protocol, it'll be added onto your list. So the next time you submit a protocol, you don't have to type it in. You can find it from your own list. Once you have a strain on here, let's say bulb C. You can edit that strain. So you can change the age, you can change the weight, you could age the phenotype. You can remove the strain completely if you don't want to use it anymore. Again, this has the check mark, so it's already completed. You can add personnel. Whenever you add personnel, again, it has to be on your list already. So for example, the role here is animal care. For your role, it'll probably research staff member. You can type in a last name. So for example, I have one person on here, so automatically he's already populated. If he's not, so again, he's already been added to the list. So it makes it a lot easier for you to add personnel. You'll need to have, if he's going to handle strain, if he's going to handle animals, has he completed his wet lab? Has he completed all his training? Procedures. We have a list of procedures. Yes, I'm sorry. We have a list of, here you would add the procedure that you're going to add. This is a regular Word document. You can actually make it bigger. You can make it smaller. You can add tables if you need to add tables here. We do have a list of some common procedures here. If you don't see the procedure that you have, you can hit other, and then you could just type in whatever it is that you're doing. Save changes. You also have the ability to, where is it? Cancel changes, I'm sorry. You also have the ability to upload files. So if you have supporting documents that need to be added, then those can be added here as well. Again, if you need to edit a procedure, you can edit a procedure. Also, if you're always here and let's say you're done for the day, if you click on the home button up here, it'll always take you to your original site. So you can go back and forth. Once you're done with everything, you could submit a protocol. Now, if you try to submit a protocol, you get this message. It means that you didn't complete everything that needed to be completed. So you have to go back to here and make sure that everything is checked green before you can go ahead and submit your protocol. You can also preview your protocol by clicking on this. It'll open up a PDF file. Right now, I don't have much, but it'll open up the PDF file and it'll show you everything that you filled out. You can also print this out. So this is basically a different PDF copy of your protocol. We go back to home page. Now, sometimes once your protocol has been submitted, it'll go into review. Sometimes you may get an email from IACUC that'll look something like this one. It'll say Cayuse, no reply. So what they're saying is that the protocol you submitted to me needs some revision. If you get an email like that, you would come over here. So this protocol is in review. If you click on it, you will see here, there's a little check mark here. There would be a little person that looks like here, pages in review. That means that there's a comment. They needed something that you need to fill out. This, if you click review notes, it'll show you what IACUC wrote. So let's say you needed more information, they needed more information. Those notes would be here. You can click on rebuttals and write your justification, or you can just go straight to the section that here it's the review notes that are here where the numbers didn't match. So you can go ahead and figure that out here. and then resubmit it to your IACUC. So it makes it easier for you to see any changes that are required from you. Instead of having to scroll down a PDF file, you can go directly to the section that they need you to review. The Cayuse program does utilize some pop-ups. So if you have a pop-up blocker on your computer, you may need to disable it whenever you're using this, or else you won't be able to see any of the pop-ups that are on here. So this is just a quick overview. Again, just to mention, we do have training material that is available for you, and we do have one-on-one, so that when you're ready to actually submit your protocol, you can reach out to us. Now, even though your protocol, once you get your email saying that your account is active, even though you're not ready to submit a protocol, I encourage everybody to visit the site, get used to the buttons, maybe put in a protocol, leave it in draft mode until you're ready to submit it, just so that you can kind of get an idea of what's going on with your protocol. And if you have any questions before you're actually ready to submit a protocol, then you can go ahead and ask it at that time. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Tricia, who's going to kind of talk to you a little bit about the behind the scenes of what happens when you submit your protocol. So I'm going to stop sharing my computer. And Tricia?
Yes, I am sharing. Okay, I hope everyone can hear me. Now that you have submitted your protocol to the IACUC for review, I want to kind of demonstrate what happens next. So again, if you go to your home page and you're here in the animal oversight column, you will see that highlighted you have protocols in review. So this will show that your number of protocols, which right here is 1, that's currently in review. And when you click on protocols in review, you will see the protocol processing stage. So right now the stage is that it's in the IACUC office where it says from. And of course, if it's listed with the IACUC office, your number here would not be this color. It'd be italicized gray, and you would not be able to click on it. Okay, so when you receive your revisions, you'll receive an email, like Harry said, that revisions are required. So it went through the IACUC. We have revisions for you. You'll receive that email. And these little pencil icons on the side where it says like procedures, surgery, and methodology will indicate where the reviewer commented and what requires revisions. You will click on the section with the comments and then click on edit procedure, which is the tab to the top, to review those comments. So currently, we're looking at the procedure name orbital sinus bleeding, and you would go to the review notes for the reviewer comments. You will address the comments and click Save Changes. Now, once you click Save Changes, a green mark should appear on the left to indicate how that section has been completed, that you've made changes and you've completed that section. So if you want to rebut the reviewer's comment, you can also do that. Same place, you would go to the reviewer notes, the review notes, but there's a little checkbox that says review rebuttal, and you can enter your comments here to submit for the IACUC. You save your changes, and you would enter those comments. Of course, you would again need to ensure that you complete each section that has the little pencil, the little person holding the pencil. So right now we've completed the procedures, we've completed surgery, and if you are rebutting any of those, you would still need to complete any of the others, or if you want, you could rebut all. Again, make sure you save changes. So once you've completed all the sections requiring revisions, you will go ahead and submit the protocol for review by clicking the submit protocol, and that submits it to the IACUC office. In submitting the renewals, and that's a bit different because the requested changes from the reviewer was to an initial protocol, you would just have those sections. However, when you're submitting a renewal, and these are your 3-year renewals, these will be they will show in your inbox protocols, renewals right here, that's highlighted. You would get the review date approved, the date approved, the review date, and the expiration date. So if it's within the expiration date, it's, you'll get that due days and is in 30 days. If it was past the 30 days, that would be highlighted red. So to initiate the renewal, you would click on the protocol number. As you can see, this one is blue and not grayed out, and that's because it's with the PI and you can submit your renewal. Once you click on that to open up the renewal form, you get general information about the protocol title, the PI, etc. And you would type in your progress report in the text box below. So the text box allows for you to type in the progress report, and it asks for you to provide a brief update on the progress being made in achieving the specific aims of the protocol. Once you have done that, the screen to your left, if you look at the one on your left, that general information that's been provided, you would enter the progress of the status below. If you go to your right of here, you can select your renewal action. So if you want the protocol to be renewed, you will click protocol will be renewed. If you want it to lapse upon expiration, you can just indicate lapse upon expiration. Again, let's look to the left. If the PI selects to lapse upon expiration, another drop-down menu comes about. You can indicate what you would do with the disposition of those animals. So either you can have them euthanized, or you're leaving with, you're leaving them with yourself, or you're keeping your animals, or you can transfer them to another protocol. But you would indicate that if you plan to let this protocol lapse. However, if you select to renewed, which is on the right screen, right of your screen, you can select protocol will be renewed. You will click save changes, and it will take you to, once you click the save changes, a button will appear, and you will now start the renewal process. So the start renewal process gives you an entire your approved protocol, and all you would need to do is go in and look at the different sections of your protocol, go through each of them. Once you've been through each of them and you're okay with the protocol, think in mind that this is a 3-year, so we are doing a full approval again. Once you're satisfied with everything, you will click submit protocol, and that would be your renewal submitted. So your renewals come from every 3 years. They're done every 3 years. For your annual reviews, you will get an email, like Harry said, about 30 days out from when it's due, for you to submit your annual review. Your annual reviews will appear in the annual reviews that's highlighted right here. Once you click on that, you will see the protocol number that will take you to the annual review stage. Now, as you can see, this particular annual review is overdue by 85 days. We do not want that from you guys. So hopefully you will go ahead and submit your annual reviews on time. But as you can see, it's highlighted red, and that would tell you that you are overdue for your annual review. So once you click on the protocol number to start the annual review, you will see various tabs to the top. The info provides you with general information about the protocol. The progress report is where you would type in your project personnel. So the following tabs are required: the progress report, the project personnel, as well as the adverse events. You'd have to answer those. The alternate to animal use and alternate to painful procedures are not required, unless, of course, you are changing from your previous method. So for your annual reviews, you can continue as is, or you could withdraw. If you click on withdraw again, it will ask you about the disposition of the animals, whether you're euthanizing or leaving it with yourself, or you are transferring to another protocol. And if you click continue as is, it will activate the other tabs for you to complete. So these are the tabs that I referenced here. And as you can see, these tabs are now active because you click to continue. The progress report is the text box. You would indicate notes about the project, how it's going. At this time, you would see all your project personnel that's listed. You may remove someone at this time, but you cannot add anyone to the project in an annual review. You would need to do this at the time of an amendment. The adverse event tab, you would look at. Completion is required, but the other ones are not, such as the alternate, like I said, the alternate animal use and the alternative, to painful procedures. The future plans tab, that's the last one. And this is where you can inform the IACUC what your intent is, but no action is required from you at this time. You would go ahead and click submit, and then the project would be submitted. Let's see if I can go back. Right, so you would click submit, and then it's sent to the IACUC for review. And then you will be able to see what you have in review. So your annuals in review would be these three, and it's with the IACUC office. You can't do anything with that right now. Harry pointed out the 3 buttons at the top on your homepage, which is next to oversight. And this allows for you to do certain things, certain actions with your protocol, such as transfer the ownership to another researcher. You can run your protocol reports with it, or you may have reference in the accrediting agency compliance reports. And that's it for me. Thank you for attending.
One thing I want to mention quickly, once you submitted a protocol, whether it's a new submission or an amendment, you can't do anything. So if you submit a protocol and you realize you forgot something or you needed to make a change, you would have to notify IACUC, because IACUC would need to review that protocol and then send it back to you as a draft in order for you to be able to edit it. So just keep that in mind when you're submitting your protocols. Once it's submitted to the IACUC, you can't do anything unless the IACUC sends it back to you. That's it.
Thank you,
I guess we'll
Harry.
be happy to entertain questions.
Thank you, Harry and Tricia.
You're welcome.
You know I have questions. First of all, we should have said, what does IACUC stand for?
So IACUC stands for the Institutional Animal Care and Use Committee. Any facility that is receiving funds using live animals and receiving any kind of government funds like PHS, NIH, DOD funds are required by law to have an IACUC committee. And the IACUC committee's purpose is to review all the animal use protocols.
Okay. So the changes that you talked about, when do they become live? Are they live now?
So as I mentioned in the first slide, we will go live in January of 2024. But we will start sending emails in December, because as it is now, all protocols need to be submitted 2 weeks prior to the meeting. So if we have a January meeting, the protocols actually have to be submitted 2 weeks in December. So we want to give PIs a chance to go ahead and submit any protocols that they need to, so that they can be reviewed in January. So in December, we'll send out emails to the users. Again, those emails will have a link to the Cayuse production site, as well as instructions on how to log in.
Additionally, we also have a meeting in December. That would be hopefully our last paper meeting. And if you need to submit because again, Harry mentioned, the deadline is 2 weeks before that December meeting. So once we cut off for the December meeting, the IACUC site should be live, the production site should be live from there on. In the event you need to submit, whether it's a renewal, an amendment, that needs to be reviewed for the next meeting in January. So we'll have that available from December, early December, but we're not going to start utilizing until our first meeting in January.
And how often does the committee meet?
We usually meet every second Wednesday of the month, once a month. So if you miss your deadline, you would need to wait a whole nother month before your protocol gets reviewed. That being said, there are certain, if you're submitting, say you're submitting an amendment, for example, you're adding new personnel to your protocol, those minor amendments don't necessarily have to wait for a new IACUC committee meeting. They can be reviewed administratively. So if you have a minor amendment, like adding a new protocol, adding a new member to your IACUC, those can be reviewed a little bit quicker. But any major amendments, if you're changing, you're going, say, from non-survival to survival, you're changing the number of animals, you're changing the title, those have to go through the full committee.
Okay. So why are we doing this?
You want to take this one too, or should I? We're trying to streamline the process. So the way it is now, as most of the animal users know, you would submit a protocol. It's a Word document or a PDF. It gets emailed to the IACUC. The IACUC has to read all the PDFs. It's not always easy for us to compare changes all the time, or compare protocols, because we have to do it paperweight. So that kind of takes a little bit of time. Also, when it comes to keeping track of expiration dates, especially for expiring protocols, that takes more effort. By going with this system, everything is handled electronically. So now it'll make it a lot easier for the IACUC office to compare changes, to keep track of expiration dates. It'll also make notifying the PIs a lot easier, because now the program will automatically send out notifications, and they'll send out notifications for from everything from comments are needed to a protocol that's being reviewed to expiring protocols. So by doing this, we can kind of streamline the whole process and make the approval process a lot shorter. So PIs don't have to wait a month or longer to get a protocol approved.
So if I were submitting a protocol and I have questions, or if I get confused, who should I reach out to?
So you can reach out to anybody in the IACUC. You can send an email to the IACUC at iacuc.ccny.cuny.edu. You can call me, you can call Tricia. We're always available to help with answering any questions. That's also one of the reasons why we like to receive protocols 2 weeks before the meeting, because that gives the IACUC a chance to kind of look it over. And if there are any major issues, then we can kind of go over it with the PI. So when when it is time for the meeting, the chances that it's going to be approved is going to be a lot quicker. We don't review the meeting and the protocol gets tabled, then that PI is going to have to wait a whole nother month before this protocol can get reviewed. But they can always reach out to me or Tricia or anybody in the IACUC, and we'll be more than happy to assist. Especially if you've never committed, I've always suggested to users, if you've never submitted a protocol before and you just don't know what to do, we've done one-on-one with investigators where we kind of go step by step on how to answer the questions, what information is needed, and so on and so forth.
So question is, what will happen to active older protocols that is pre-2024? Will they be populated into the system by January?
Good question. So we did start to populate some of the old protocols. For a little bit, we're gonna have to kind of keep track of two systems. We're gonna have to keep track of the Cayuse system and the old paper system until all the protocols have been populated into Cayuse. But we have started on some of the protocols, putting them in. They'll be in so if you get an email and you log onto your site and you see a protocol already on there, that's us putting them in there. They'll be in draft form. They won't be submitted. The expiration date does not change. The expiration date will be the same as it is now. So if your protocol doesn't expire until 2025, even if it's populated in there, it still won't expire until 2025. So those numbers don't change.
And additionally, the populated fields may be minimal on our end. So we're doing some of the major fields for you. It is still up to the investigator to ensure that the information is accurate, that the information has been carried over accurately from the paper system to the electronic system. We may not get to everyone's project by the start of January. So we're focusing on those that are up for renewals, the 3-year renewals, and not so much the annual review. We are, if you would like to also start your own project, so you have someone who can on your lab or in your team who can do that, we can also guide them through that process to have your protocol in the system. But it's not feasible for Harry and myself to get everyone in by January.
That's why I encourage everybody to kind of, once you get the email, just kind of visit the site and, play around with it a little bit and, start adding some protocols. Even if they're not going to expire, just put them in there so you could kind of get used to the buttons and what goes on and how to put a protocol in. Once a protocol is in January, we will be dealing with pretty much with new protocols and expiring protocols and any amendments. So if you have an amendment to a protocol that you need to do, this is a good chance for you to put it into the Cayuse system. And then once it's in there, even though your end date, your expiration date of that protocol is not going to change, it's already in there. So when it is time for you to amendment, it's already in there for you.
Any other questions?
Hi, I have a question. It's Jun. Question to Harry. In the current paper form, I'm just not writing a text. What I like is that making workflow chart in a PowerPoint file and paste it on the Word file so that it's easier to flow the procedure. In this new system, can I do that? Just draw the picture and then paste
so
it?
you do have for certain say for the procedure, you do have the ability to upload files. So if you need to upload a picture or supporting documents, you can. The little text field is just like a regular text field, so you can cut and paste onto that text field. So if that's what you're saying, if you want to cut a text from another document and put it in there, you do have that ability.
Okay. Second question, I know that the answer will be no, but let me ask you anyway. So in this system, is that possible to pick other investigators approved
No.
protocol? The reason why I'm asking is that because let's say I'm interested in gavage technique, and I don't know my way is acceptable or not, and I just want to check other person's protocol. The answer is no,
No,
right?
we won't allow that. You can talk to that person and see if he's willing to share it with you, but we don't share other people's protocols with anybody. You can always reach out to the veterinarian or myself. So if you say you have a procedure and you're just not sure if it's correct, or maybe there's something better that's out there, if you reach out to the veterinarian, he's more than willing to kind of, look at it for you and make suggestions or any recommendations. But you can't see other people's protocols. Sorry.
Thank you.
June, I do a lot of gavage.
Okay.
protocols. So
All
There
right.
you go.
I can
I
show
come
you.
to see you. Yeah, I'm come to
I
you.
can show you.
The cash fee will help you. Thank you, Dr.
Any other questions or comments? Or items to be shared? Okay, well, thank you, Harry and Tricia. I'm sure you'll get a lot more questions once people start trying to put in protocols, but
Yep.
we're hoping, we expect this to be, as Harry said, a more efficient way, and it's also a better way for you to keep track of your documents, as well as City College and CUNY to keep track of what's going on, just in case we're ever audited or somebody comes in and looks. Tricia.
Yeah, what I wanted to say is if you find that you are going through the protocol process and you have maybe recommendations in which we can flow this easily for you, or you're encountering some issues, please don't hesitate to send an email to ayacook@ccny.cuny.edu so that we can understand where the investigator is also having issues, or maybe we can find ways to make it easier for the investigator.
Yeah.
So there's one more quick question. Will there be one-on-one training? When will
Yes,
this begin?
that can be arranged. Just send me an email, send Tricia an email, and we can arrange one-on-one.
ayacook@ccny.cuny.edu. We all get it.
Yeah, we all get
I
it.
will get it, Harry will get it, so that, again, we can reach out to help you guys in submitting your protocol or initiating your protocol, or even getting your older protocol into the system.
Yeah, filling out questions. I mean, it's a learning process for everybody, so hopefully we'll be able to kind of work out all the kinks. Please be
Great.
patient with us.
So, again, thank you again, Harry and Tricia. Our next seminar series will be in February. Stay tuned for the announcements about the proposal development services that the Office of Research offers. And
Dr. Cashby, did you have a question? I'm sorry, I saw you raise your hand.
No questions. I'm just
Okay.
Okay, okay.
all right. We just got past Halloween, but we won't see each other again until the new year. So happy Thanksgiving. Happy holidays. Have a good semester.
Take
Bye,
care. Bye-bye.
everybody.
All right, bye-bye.